What is up, YouTube and all my fish keeping friends? How is everybody doing out there in fish tank land? This is a completely impromptu stream. I just wanted to share something that I was getting to enjoy myself. I felt like everybody should have the opportunity to get to see this, especially while I'm sitting with it under a microscope right now and it's not going anywhere. So we are actually looking at nano blue tetra eggs, fertilized eggs. It started out with 1 cell to 2 cells, and we're up to about 32 to 64 cells. You can see those individual cells and clusters off of the big clear part there. Anyways, really cool stuff. I just thought I would share with you guys. We are actually viewing this through my A6500 Sony, so you're not going to be able to see me. I do have my other little old camera, and that's on the fish right now, so I guess we can see that. I can switch that over there, and you can see the fry at the top of the tank. There's that, but I'm gonna go ahead and pull that off of there for now. Anyways, so we are looking at Tetra eggs, and they were released from the female at about 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So they're about 2.5 hours old, and this is where we are in 2.5 hours. And this is live under the microscope, and I think I'm just at, this is 10 times. If I can pull the microscope back, go back to 4 times. Let's see if we can get on that. This is just back to 4 times. You can see that I actually have 3 eggs here on a petri dish. Now I can't shake my table or anything, or you're not gonna see anything. Let me go ahead and I'm just gonna leave it just like that for you guys, and I'm gonna go back and check out the chat real quick and see who's up in here. Who is in here? Anyways, let's see. The chat. What is up, guys? Let me see. Let me get the full chat. I don't know. I don't like the top chat thing. I'll never like that. Daryl Deemer, how are you? Good to see you here. E Aquatics. Jeremy Morell. What is up, man? Just getting really nerdy here for a minute. Ginger Graves. William Jansen, how are you? Got the AC on in the background. Deanna Somerville. Everybody say thank you to Deanna. She has been a lifesaver for me. I've got some goodies over here for her. I gotta meet up with her and do some lunch or something. But everybody give a thank you out to Deanna Somerville. She took care of all my tanks in the last 3 trips that I've been on back in the States. So anyways, I'm just chilling out here, getting really nerdy here for a minute. I was on the phone with Amber, and I'm staring with my wireless headset on, staring into one of my tanks, and for the first time ever, a second time ever to see female laying eggs, but the first time to actually really see her see the eggs. She literally laid eggs right on the glass, right in front of everybody, right in front of me, like 5 or 6 eggs, and I was freaking out on the phone. And Amber, of course, is like, what? And anyways, she's like, of course, they're tetras. Anyways, so I went in there with an eyedropper, and I pulled out 3 eggs, and I put them onto into a petri dish. So I'm trying to keep the light a little low. You don't need a lot of light to see these guys. But these are eggs from a true nano fish. The adult fish doesn't get much bigger than about 3/4 of an inch. Comes from one river, from the Tambopata River and the part of the Madre de Dios River Basin in southern Peru. It's actually fish is on the CARES list. It is listed as a least concern, but it is in fact on the CARES list, and it is protected. Let's see here. Good to see everybody hanging out. This is, like I said, totally impromptu stream. Just wanted to share this with you because, like I was saying, I was looking at it anyways, and I was on the phone with Amber, and I'm like, everybody, like I was telling her, like, I want you to be able to see what I can see under the microscope right now. And then I'm like, I want everybody to see it, and I have the capability. You know, I didn't plan this. I know that Melvin is streaming right now, and I did not want to stream over him. I planned on streaming at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, and it set up the stream for 8:30 Eastern Time or some other time. Anyways, so I did not mean to really, I wasn't planning on going over Melvin, but I wanted to get this to you while it was happening, because we're at, like I said, we're at about 62 plus cells right now, and it was really cool to watch it go from 1 cell to 2 cells to to 4 cells to 8 cells to 16, and now we're about 2.5 hours into it, and we're at like 64 plus cells or whatnot. It's going to get to a point, things are going to start to really change here. But I thought it would be really cool to just show a little bit of cell division live of a nano species of Tetra that is on the cares list. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. I don't expect everybody else to enjoy it. But it might be a little cooler here in a minute to just get a little closer, get back down to about 10 times. I can't go much closer than that. I can't go to 50 times like I'd like to, because these are actually in water in a petri dish, so they can continue to grow, and they're not going to be under any pressure on a microscope slide with a cover slip or anything like that. I could theoretically leave them in here and continue to do little bits of water changes with tank water, and get to actually catch the whole thing. Anyways, I just think these are really cool fish, and I'm really excited to actually have them spawning or breeding for me. So the way it works with the female is she is actually inseminated by the male, and then she goes off by herself and lays the eggs. Kind of reminds me a little bit more of like a butterfly, and she was literally dropping them off, just little sticky eggs. Kind of reminded me of something that like a like cichlids or could do, or like angelfish would do on the glass. It was really cool. Anyways, let me go ahead and see the chat, because I'm staring at this footage too and trying not to touch my desk, because if I touch anything, we're gonna get a little shake and a shimmer in the screen here. But let's see what's going on in the chat. See who's hanging out. It is nice to see William Jansen and Daryl Deemer up in here. Jesse, how are you? I'm good to see you here as well. Susan from SLC Aquatics. Deanna, I want to say thank you again, really, for everything. We got to do lunch one of these days. I've just been hustling. I'm really let myself get behind in bills, but that was it was like you only live once, and these are memories and stuff that at least I got film of them, so I do have the memories on film, and I'll be able to share them with you guys as soon as I edit them. But let's see. I'm looking at what Mickey was saying there. Same with tetras. I'm not sure. These tetras are not very well described. That's what's pretty cool about this as well, is I'm kind of like learning stuff and writing stuff down that nobody else has written down. Obviously, this is probably the first time ever that, well, maybe somewhere in a laboratory once before, somebody has taken pictures of these eggs, or has actually witnessed these eggs hatching. I don't know, probably not. So this is kind of, to me, it's making history. I'm having a little fun being a little citizen scientist, and just having a little fun with it. Let's see if I can streamline the chat for myself, so that I can still see what I'm looking at with you guys. We have Aquaballs. How are you? Good to see you here. Soggy Pits, welcome to the stream. So let's go a little closer again. I have to go back out to get this lens in here. It's a petri dish. This lens gets really close to the water. Doesn't touch, and that's all that matters. So if I can get close enough and focus and not touch anything. Focus. Oh. I want to focus in on the cell division a little bit more than the outer part of the egg. Oh. Let's go back this way. Anyways, I'm just trying to get a little bit better shot, and you can see all the individual little cells. And just to think that like 3.5 hours ago it was just one cell, and that, I don't know, I was on the phone with Amber and I'm getting all excited watching it go from 1 cell to 2 cells and 2 cells to 4 cells, and I'm like, oh my god. Oh, it's fun stuff to get to watch it in your living room. And that's one reason why I'm going live again right now, is I just figure I want to share it with you guys. I mean, yeah, I could just keep it to myself. I could make an Instagram video or put an Instagram picture out there. I mean, I could and I should just go ahead and make a full-on YouTube video. That would be really wild, huh? Real wild thing to do. Actually make a real YouTube video about it. Let's see. You're saying the extra outer layers is freshly fertilized. Wait, see. These are freshly fertilized eggs. I mean, when I say fertilized, I know that the female had to be inseminated internally first before this happened. I figure it happened sometime today. But she laid the eggs. I literally, while I was on the phone with Amber, I saw her lay the eggs on the glass at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and then I removed 3 of the eggs and put them under the microscope. So I want to say hello to 09 Porcupine. It's Joey, Janishevsky, Deanna Somerville's. Not to throw out all kinds of last names and stuff, but anyways, oh sweet, cool deal. These are Tetra tambopatensis. Let me see if I can get that in the chat without shaking the screen too much, but type this in here. I believe that's the correct Latin name for it. Tetra tambopatensis, because they're from the Tambopata River, which is part of the Madre de Dios River Basin in southern Peru. There's 2 other fish that are related to this Tetra, which is, it's a tiny, a true nano tetra. I just really enjoy working with smaller species. I like the challenge of breeding such a small fish, and I'm not breeding, getting them to breed, and I need to start changing the way I say that, because that is the truth of it. They're doing all the hard work for the most part. I've been feeding these fish when these finally hatch. They get fed. I think some of the first meals for me are probably the really small microworms, like the really tiny microworms, and then live-baby brine. I'm sorry, Hikari first bites, and then eventually they're really more of an infusoria fish fry at first, and then eventually I can get them into a baby brine shrimp. And once they're on live baby brine shrimp, they're on top of their game, and they're ready to swim with the rest of the school, honestly. Amber, you have been driving forever. I mean, yeah. And we don't want to talk about how many fish you have in that car. It's like Noah's Ark over there. Carrie from Science Gal Aquatics, how are you? Welcome to the stream. Biology is awesome, that's for sure. Wish I could get this a little cleaned up, I don't want to kick up the lighting too much on these guys. I don't know if this will help or make things worse. We could try that. That just makes it worse. That's just a green filter, but really don't need that. I prefer the natural colors just because, and a lot of this stuff is not really the natural colors. In some cases, just like the lighting on the outside of these eggs, that's just caused more of a prism. That's from the reflection of the light. So that's one thing to think about when you're doing microscopy. Is a lot of times when you think you're seeing colors, you're not necessarily seeing actual colors. But it's really well, you are seeing colors, but you're seeing the reflection of light. Anyways, it's just really cool to see how these have been. I wanted to go live even sooner because I wanted to be able to show the like, to me the coolest part is when you're starting out with just like 2 cells to 4 cells to 8 and 16, because you can actually kind of see it happening in slow motion, and then after, you know, then it gets looking like this. And in the end, these eggs will return to the aquarium. These eggs are gonna just go back into the duckweed and the hornwort at the top, and I'm sure they'll be fine up there. Better off up there than they are on the side of the tank where the rest of them are. But I'm just gonna observe the other ones on the tank and see if we get if they actually do get consumed by the other fish. I have a feeling eventually some of the fish are going to pick them off the glass. Wasn't the best place to put them as far as I'm concerned. Matthew Moore Cichlids, good to see you here, man. Long time since we've been in the same live stream together, that's for sure. Incubation time, I don't know. That's why I'm doing this. This is that's the whole point of this, is just trying to get an idea of how long this takes. And we'll see. These eggs all look healthy. It doesn't look like there's any kind of fungusing or anything going on the outside of them. So I'm just going to continue forward with this and just kind of see what happens, see how long this takes. And I feel like I'm going to be, you know, I know that there's been one paper done on these fish for sure. There has been some drawings done of the bone structure of all the bones of the male and female. The males have more of a split fin, tail fin. They have more teeth than the females, but the females are definitely much bigger, almost twice the size as the males, and they're really the alpha. They run the show. There's like one alpha female and all that good stuff. But I have a video coming out on that in about a day or so. Not tomorrow, I think Thursday. I'm gonna put out a video on that. I mean, it's up, it's finished. I haven't decided which day to upload it or to post it. Yep, it's a CARES listed fish. It's just a CARES fish. It's a least concern. It's like the bottom of the list, but it is threatened by illegal gold mining, and illegal gold mining is the biggest thing. The Madre de Dios River Basin is probably the hottest spot in Peru, one of the hottest spots in Peru for illegal gold mining specifically. So, I mean, you can see it driving down the highways when you're in the mountains, but if you look on the maps, if you look at any of the reports and paperwork on that, any of this stuff done on that, you'll see that it is a really heavy hot spot on the map for illegal gold mining, which pretty much poisons the waters with mercury. And so I don't know how many more chances there are to get a hold of this fish before it could actually be, you know, the fact that it's one river and, you know, and one part of a river, just like 1/3 of a river really, it could become extinct really quick, really easily. It can go from being a least concern to being, you know, critically endangered really quick. Especially with the way that they're mining gold in Peru and the lack of like governmental control in Peru. They're really corrupt. They getting away with a lot of stuff. Honestly, that's one reason why you see a lot of fish coming out of Peru, is because Peru does not have the same laws and regulations that countries like Brazil have in regards to the import or the export of livestock and of fish. So that's one reason why you see so much coming out of Peru. So anyways, I just thought I'd geek out with this for a minute. Susan, you take care. It's good to see you popping in the chat. I appreciate your support. Let me go over here, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and throw up camera 2. Camera 2, and we're gonna get out of this mode. See if I don't touch the screen. But anyways, camera 2 real quick. If we go in there, you can see some fry at the top. I could go in here and feed these guys, couldn't I? Couldn't I? I could if I wanted to. Let me go see if I can put some food on top there for them. Sorry, I don't mean to be too boring, but that's kind of was the not really the plan of the stream, but I expected it to be kind of chill. I wasn't really planning on doing anything else, really talking about anything else. Just kind of wanted to show off these eggs, like I said, and I was looking at them anyways under the microscope, and I just figured while they're there, while I had the camera hooked up, filming it and everything, all I had to do was plug in one more cord and hit live. And so I said, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'll make a thumbnail at least first. So you can see some fish in there at the surface. I sprinkled a little bit of Hikari first bites at the top. I'll have to wait a little while for them to get curious and come around for that. But there is a lot of fry at the surface right now in this tank. I have 3 tanks of these fish going now, but we'll wait for them to come around a little bit. Anyways, let me go ahead and check out the chat. Anybody have any questions about anything? Like I was saying, I'm just geeking out here. William Jansen, thank you for throwing out the information on the fish and throwing out the links to the Patreon. I do need to put some more stuff up on Patreon, that is for sure. I've just been trying to focus on finally getting some content out. Now that I'm finally at home, I can start putting out some. The Gamer's Wife, how are you? Good to see you here. Good to see you here. It's a little bit of Cell Division, you know, Cell Division on a Tuesday night. Your average fish keeper thing to do. A little hot tea and Cell Division on a Tuesday night. Live Cell Division. This is not recorded. This is not recorded. This is live on a petri dish under a cheap Omax microscope off of Amazon. Calypso's Reefing, good to see you here, man. Another person. It's been a long time since I've been in a live stream with you. It's been a while. Papa Shrimp, how are you, man? Good to see you here. It's very nice to meet you. That was really nice to meet you in person. Let me see. What is? Trying not to miss any questions. Let's see. Click clack reef. What is up? So I need to get another like 3 or 4 tanks set up on these fish. That's really the plan. I think it'd be nice to actually be able to offer these out. I do need to get a group or 2 of them back to the States, and then it's just really an odd thing. I'm trying to figure out how to work with organizations like CARES and stuff like that and get them to, you know, just to find a way to actually get these fish into the right hands first and foremost before I just give them out to just anybody, you know. I'd like to get a group to, like, I don't know, maybe a university or something first, or some place where, or you know, something like that, some place where I feel like they're also being curated and they're going to be maintained. I don't know. So I don't feel like I'm the only person, because there's not a lot of, like, I don't know that there's anybody else in the United States that's actually breeding these fish in captivity right now. I know there was a couple in the hands of Michael Barber and Dean Tweedell, but I don't think either of them had enough to breed them. Dwayne Kitchell had some, and he did not. His were not successful. I'm Aquaballs. I'm not sure we're about to see a fish actually hatch. To be completely honest, I don't know. We could just go marathon out if people want to just super chat me. We could just marathon. I'll just keep this rolling until the computer overheats and the camera overheats and melts down. But I'm literally rolling with a full scale microscope. I have my Sony A6500. I'm sorry. With an adapter hooked up on the top of it's actually a trinocular microscope, and I have that running into the computer just as I would normally have with my live stream. So it's actually pulling in 4K on the cameras in 4K. That's the setting it's on right now, but you only get 1080p at 60 frames off of the adapter. But it's even better for me when I look through the binocular part of the microscope itself. It's another world there. It's so much better. Even, this is still digital. I don't know, optical is still so much better. Anyways, I don't like the light so high. I feel like it takes away from some of the contrast and the shadows. Let me see if I can focus in on these cells a little bit more. Try not to touch the table. But you can see that cell division is like it's happening. I wish I could get a little closer, but if I do, I'll actually be dipping my the next lens, the 50 times lens. I'd be dipping that into the water, and I don't want to do that. So we're kind of stuck at 4 and 10x just to be safe. More than safe. Let's see. 09 Porcupine Joey, thank you for the $20 American, $20 super chat. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. I'm just trying to share a little bit of I don't know, fishy goodness, nerdy fishy goodness. I do want to say thank you again to Jeremy Morel, if he's still up here in the chat. It was really nice to meet you in San Francisco. That was I appreciate the fish, and I'm about to set up a nice tank for them, and it'd be nice to show them off, get some nice shots of them on camera soon enough. But really excited about those. Just another true nano fish, but is a live bear. It's the least killy fish, which I got from Jeremy. I got a nice group of about 13 or 14 of those. Yeah, these eggs are about 3 hours old now. 3 hours old, and cell division, we were up to, I don't know, what do you want to call that? I don't know. 128 cells, maybe more than that. You can see the individual cells there, but like I was saying, I have pictures and video of the beginning. I'll definitely probably put that into a video or something. I'll have to make some kind of a video somehow. I don't know. That was part of just doing this. I just wanted to get it up here, share it with you guys now, rather than have to play with it. It's here, it's happening, and I think it's actually kind of, to me, it's cooler to see it live. Like, this is a live, living cell. This is, cells, but this is a live shot of a nano blue Tetra egg. It was released by the female about 3 hours ago, almost exactly 3 hours ago from now. My house is kind of solid. If I move, like right now, I catch myself moving a little bit, and I can see it on the screen. If I laugh or move the chair even a tiniest bit. Let's see. Let's go back to this camera real quick. You can see stuff. A few fry up there hanging out. congregating around the Hikari first bites. Let me go ahead, see if we can focus that better. There's a few fry there doing their thing. Hikari first bites are really nice because I can let them just sit on the surface tension of the water long term, and they can graze on that over the day. It really works well. But once they're big enough, baby brine shrimp is like, that's the key to making them healthy and happy. And it also makes the adult fish, I think it really gets the adult fish in the mood and want to do their thing. But you can see when the fry are really happy and healthy. You see that little fry up there with that big old fat belly. That's from getting Hikari first bites, microworms, and live baby brine shrimp today. Twice so far today. And they'll get fed one more time before the end of the day. But I like to do the microworms first because I want them to get those smaller foods first, and then I'll do the baby brine shrimp, and then I put the Hikari fat last at the top, and I just leave the Hikari there as something for everybody to graze on for the next 3 to 4 hours until I come back and do it again. Let me see, am I missing some chat? I am missing some chat, let's see. So there's thing yes, things are happening on the outer yellow parts. We could definitely get Dan Sleep, we can definitely figure out something about the yellow King Kongs, that's for sure. We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go with that. Even with the weather, they are living at the 72 degrees right now. I think if I do something, especially if I do overnight, I think we'll be fine. Oh, like a football match for 72 hours. No, I don't know about all that, but this is, I'm gonna do my, I'm just gonna go with an hour here. I do know that I believe Wild Fish Tanks is going live here in a second. I'm not sure. Once again, like I was saying before, I was just here enjoying it myself, and I figured I might as well share it with you guys. Maybe some people will watch it and post. Some people, you know, they'll watch it in the future, something like that. That's cool too. But just wanted you guys to get a chance to see nano blue Tetra egg developing, and you know, actually get to see the cell division taking place. It's one of the nice things about having a microscope in a fish room. I get to see stuff like this. It's also nice for just seeing what different microorganisms and infusoria and whatnot are living in different tanks, especially when I'm working with fish that have fry like these that live off of infusoria for the first week or two. I gotta go turn another. I got some timers that went off. I gotta turn some lights back on in the other room. Alright, is that back on? Yeah, those lights are off for a minute. Anyways, I'm just curious what you guys want me to do more of here in the future. I definitely want to do some more, go back to doing some of my wild fish collecting, because that's actually something I enjoyed doing a lot. I just didn't want to, I kind of wanted to diversify myself, but I just feel like a lot of people want that from me as well. So it's like, fine. No, I love doing it. I love getting out into the wild. That's my favorite thing. That's kind of my dreamy goal, is to be able to do that stuff, to be able to do it for a living, you know, when it comes to either collecting or just observing biotopes to help making breeding easier with different species, and in the long run share all that with you guys, share the adventure and along the way. Let's see if I can pull up the chat again. I just wanted to see These fry too. These fry are so awesome. Ginger Graves, thank you for the sticker. Was it a super sticker chat? Is that what they call those? $5 super sticker chat, I believe. I'm not sure how that all goes. I'm learning all this stuff. Thank you, Ginger Graves, so much for that super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you again, Joey, as well. Jeremy, we're gonna have to do some fish swaps here soon. I gotta get you some of these wild guppies as well. I'd like to get them out to you, and then I need to get some more to Amber. And Luke wanted some, I think, too. They're really cool. They're fun to work with too, especially if you want to try to kind of mix them with some fancy guppies and do stuff like that. Anyways, this is just one of 3 of the aquariums I have with the wild, with these nano blue tetras, which are wild nano blue tetras. I'm getting away from the original wild stock here because I've been breeding them for so long. They've been breeding for me for so long now. But at this point I have 3 colonies of these fish, and then I'm going to take those 3 colonies and then breed them down, and then I will cross those together and make new colonies that way. But I do want to keep it a little bit organized just because, and keep a couple different colonies going, just because I don't know anybody else that's doing this right now. Until I feel like I'm the only person that's got them in the U.S. right now. It'd be cool to find someone else that has these or is breeding them. But I will be divulging some of my breeding techniques for these guys in a video that I got coming out later this week. So definitely keep your eyes out for that. I love all those little fry. Anyways, cell division is happening. It's definitely been changing as I've been streaming here. This has been developing. Let's see if I can zoom in without shaking the table too much. Let's see, brighter light, less light. What do we think? Alright, where's this chat at? Alright. Okay, I got chat, I got the camera, we're all lined up. Yeah, the wild guppies, they're fun. They're fun, Jeremy. They just you get so many different things out of them. It makes it fun. The closest relative to these tetras, I'm not sure. There is 3 Titocharax that live in this river, the Tampapata River, and they all live in. They're kind of just variations of this fish. But they're definitely distinctly different. But they all live in the same river, just in different parts of the river. The Tampapatensis, which is this one, lives, I believe, more so on the west end of this river, of the Tampapata River. And then you have 2 other Titocharax related to it that also live in that river. Caleb Aquatics, how are you? Welcome to the stream. I don't know if it's... Try not to touch anything, but just me being here, my vibrations alone of just being alive are making me, like my hollow floors, it's making me move this table that I have everything on. I can't wait to be in like a real lab space where I have like a solid table for a microscope and nothing moves. But this is I gotta work with what I have. Let's see if we can focus in on these cells a little bit. And you can see a little bit. You can see some oils. It looks like some oils happening in the main part there, but definitely, who knows where we are with cell division though, but it's definitely getting out of hand to a point where you can't count. But yeah, I don't know, we're still not that far away. It's probably under about 512 cells or something like that, but that's about where we're at right now. It took about an hour to go from one cell. It started at 5 o'clock, and it took about an hour from one cell to was 8 cells an hour later. but cell division starts to speed up, right? The more it divides, and it just starts to speed up because you have all these cells dividing, and things are gonna really start to speed up. I feel like as that happens. But I do not expect this to turn into a fish tonight, and hatch. I think the gestation period for this egg is probably gonna be about 12 to 24 hours. I'm going to continue to monitor it. I'm going to continue to do water changes on this petri dish, and just hope that these eggs don't fungus and that they continue to grow properly. And hopefully I'll be able to share it with you guys and continue to record all this stuff. For all we know, within the next 12 to 24 hours, I go live again, and I'll be able to show you what things look like in about 12 to 24 hours. That would be cool too. Big City Betas, Amber, how are you? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you here. We got Ginger, and Big, and Amber. Let me say that before I mess up. Amber and Ginger are chatting in the chat there. Caleb, I totally missed your stream with Bob last night. I want to be honest. I had such a headache and I was so tired, and it was still an hour before your stream after Bob's stream, and I laid down for a minute and I fell asleep, and I missed your live stream last night with Bob. And I'm sorry about that. I can go watch the replay, but I wanted to watch it. I was planning on it. Yeah, they're about 3 hours old, and we are looking at them, 10 times right now. You got it, William. William's on top of it. Once again, I'm sorry that if I went live over of Melvin, my plan was to go live at 7:30, and I had set the time wrong, and I didn't want to wait much longer with this anyways, with these eggs. It wasn't really planned. It was a last minute thing anyways. I just figured it's kind of boring too, so I didn't expect like a huge number of people to want to run in here to watch this anyways. So this is for the serious fish nerds and biology nerds, I guess. And not super serious, because I'm not spewing out any facts and information for you guys. I'm just sharing with you what I can, because I just felt like I'm lucky to have this microscope and be able to do this. And to be completely honest, I guess in the end, truly, I dealt out the money anyways, but this was one of my first goals with Patreon, was to get this microscope, and so some of the funds for this microscope came from Patreon, to be completely honest in the end, because that's really what the goal started on Patreon. It was a secret. I didn't tell people exactly what it was that I was getting. I just said I was getting a piece of lab equipment. So I'm trying not to touch anything, but I'm trying to focus this just a little bit more. Anyways, let's move around, right? I can move around. Guys. Proof this is live. This is totally live. I've got no reason to lie to you. It's funny how some people will be like, he's just faking it. Like when I go collecting fish, some people literally will comment and be like, you're faking it. You just pretended like you caught those fish. You didn't actually catch them. And I'm like, why would I lie? Why would I lie? Anyways. So, cell division is getting out of control here. Getting to a point where it's going to start looking like something, that's for sure. And a lot less like a pile of balls, right? It's gonna actually start to take some structure eventually. Probably by tomorrow morning. Oh, really, Caleb? You're tearing it up. You're not messing around. Caleb is going live with Zenzo from Tazawa Tanks in 1 hour and 46 minutes. Killing it, man. You do it. That's awesome, brother. I appreciate that's a good deal. That's good stuff. Look forward to catching up with that if I don't fall asleep. Those are late streams for me because I'm out here on the water, way far out here. So it's already 8:16 for me. This microscope, well, if you combine all the stuff that's making this happen right now, it's really, really expensive because you're looking at $1,000+ camera, $600 microscope, and then almost a $200 piece of hardware that connects, that makes it work as a webcam on my computer. So yeah, the microscope is $600. And all the other equipment is more because I have an adapter on here on my microscope, or on my camera really, that lets my camera go on the top of this microscope and be act as another camera. I will have a 4 megapixel, 5 megapixel digital camera that I can put on here, but like I said, this is actually, the camera is set on 4K right now at 60 frames, and the adapter allows me to give you guys 1080p anyways at 60 frames. This is off though for me. Alright, I gotta get into this microscope for a minute. Thank you, William Jansen, for throwing out the chats, or throwing out the links. I appreciate that. Putting all that out in the chat and keeping an eye on things. That's really cool, Caleb. I will look forward to seeing that live stream with Zenzo later this evening. Like I said, if I can keep myself awake, I should be editing. I should edit until then and have that be my break. Have it be my, like, you know, my present for getting some work done. Anyways, this is really cool. Like I was saying, it's gonna change now. You can see all these individual little cells on the edges. But yeah, it's the beginning of a fish, that's for sure. In the very beginning, just a few thousand cells maybe. Yeah, Dan Sleet, the Instagram for sure. My Instagram, I try to have fun with that. That is definitely something to check out because it's just nice because I can get on my, just take pictures, take some video with my phone of a fish tank, of a fish, of a plant, and slap it right up on Instagram, right on my phone, not messing around with anything else. It makes it really easy to get like small pieces of content up really quickly. I can even do a vlog thing. I could talk to the camera if I really wanted to, but Instagram is nice. I just hit 800 followers, and that's pretty cool. My goal is to get to 1,000, but I was really happy to make it to 800 this month. I could just sit here and stare at this. I mean, that's pretty much what I've been doing this afternoon. I was on the phone with Amber, and we were trying to talk, and she's like talking to me about some other fish related stuff, and I just kept going on about these, but meanwhile she's driving and doesn't realize I'm sitting here gazing through the microscope at this, and we're like in two totally she's watching the road, we're in two totally different places, right? But I'm like, no, you need to see this. Wait, no, everybody needs to see this. Did you get in Instagram jail, Dansley? For posting too much? Is there such thing as Instagram jail? Or I didn't know what you meant. Maybe I missed the joke there. Anyways, let's see. Let's go for a little walk here. So these eggs still look good. To me, they look good. I don't know. This... Let's look at that outside. There's nothing really going on the outside of these eggs. There's something going on there. I don't know if that's some bacterial thing on the surface of that egg starting to grow. Could be. Let's see. What are we looking at there? If I can not touch anything for a minute. Are they moving? But that little cluster there on the outside of that one egg, I don't know what that is. Now I'm doing this in dark field, and this is not. I'm not shooting the light straight through the specimen or through the eggs. I'm actually shooting the light from the sides. So as I focus in up here, you can see that it changes as I go. You're starting to get like a three-dimensional view. As I focus out, you're actually getting the outside of the egg. You can see what's in focus there is the surface of the outside of the egg. And as I focus, I'm focusing through the object. And you can see I'm focusing through the egg to the other side, but it just turns to a blur at that point. So, anyways, so this is, at least you can kind of like, it's more of like penetrating into the egg a little bit as I focus. So you can see the embryo in there. Anyways, let's see, what else do we got in the chat? I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat. I'm just doing this for the fun of it. Like I said, I was looking at this anyways. I figured I would share it for a minute. Share it live. I mean, where else are you going to see a live Tetra egg developing 10 times under a microscope? Right here. Right here, right now. Yeah, I'm just curious how long. There's little things that I want to learn while I'm here, and you know, it was really exciting to see the egg drop. To see the fish put the eggs on the glass, because that gave me a pretty definite time as to when the eggs were dropped. I know exactly when they're dropped, so I can actually start to I can create some records here. I can come up with some stuff, and try to get an idea of just how long these eggs take. Little stuff like that. And I don't just have it on paper, I have it right here. I mean, I was filming a lot of it in the beginning, and I'll go back after the stream and I'll continue to get some film of it, and over the next day or two, and I'll probably go live again, why not, in the next day or two, as long as everything goes well. Either way, if these eggs fungus over, that's one thing I'll still let you guys know, but I don't think that'll happen. I'm going to do little bits of water changes on this petri dish with tank water from the tank they're from, and then just monitor the water temperature a little bit as well. And that's about it. I think water temperature is the biggest thing that could get me right now, because being in such a small water column, being in a petri dish, at night it could get pretty cold. Compared to the tank that they would otherwise be in. Okay, what are we doing here? Why does that look blown out like that? Alright, so I'm just checking out that egg. I don't know. It's pretty cool. I'm wondering if I get to a point where you can actually see things like happening. I don't know. I mean, you can see things happening, but actually like seeing like cells popping, like, just dividing quicker. I don't know. Anyways, let's see. The Teespring. Yeah, William Jensen, I do have the Teespring going on. I have like 23 different t-shirt designs over there. From across the board, stuff from about shrimp keeping, as well as just fish keeping and aquascaping and stuff like that. Some fun t-shirts, just stuff that I had some fun for like 2 days and just went nuts on Teespring and made a bunch of cool shirts. I thought they were cool anyways. Let's see. Pam, how are you? Thank you for saying it's cool. I don't expect a lot of people to like it. It's really nerdy stuff. But hey, somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it. Real quick, here is the tank with... this is live as well. This is in the other room. This is a tank with a bunch of fry at the top. There's a whole colony in here. They're colony breeding. The parents are not eating the fry. But you can see on the surface there, you're looking up from below, up at the surface. You can tell that that's a reflection, right? And you see the powdered baby first. What is it? The Hikari first bites, powdered food. And we got some fry running around there, slowly grazing on that right now. But their bellies are nice and full because I fed them baby brine shrimp about an hour or two ago. So it takes them about 2 hours to kind of clean up everything anyways. And then they get a couple of hours without any food. And then I feed them again. They're kind of like I do about every 4 to 6 hours throughout the day. So they're getting fed like 3 times a day. But they're getting a mixture of everything, all the good stuff. Most of it's live, everything except for the Hikari first bites. So anyways, can't move anything. If I breathe too much, the microscope will shake. I want to thank you all for hanging out though. Like I was saying, this is just just nerding out a little bit, not the most entertaining of things, but it is live. It is a Tetra fish egg. And this is cell division in action. Biology 101. Oh boy. I am not a teacher. I just play one on YouTube. Boy, oh boy. Oh no. No, it does take me back to high school a little bit, but it's nice to be able to share it too. Share it with you guys. Not just I could sit here and just look at it by myself, but why not share it? Yep, the cells are starting to get smaller and they're starting to become a lot more of them. And eventually all those cells are probably going to equal the size of the other half. Which is pretty much what that's going to be. Its yolk sac on the left hand side, and then just going to slowly watch this fish develop. Like I was saying, it was really cool to see it go from 1 cell to 2 cells and so on right in the beginning. Like the very beginning is the coolest part to me. What's floating across? I guess I'm floating across the water there. Anyways, where is this chat now? I get carried away watching the stuff too. About to finish my tea here. That's a dangerous place to be. Only 9 more hours to home. Well, that's good, Amber. I'm proud of you. You've been hustling. You need to stop driving for a little while. You need to take a little break. JH School of Biology. And mama fish, yeah, right. Anyways, yeah, Amber, definitely drive careful out there. She is a driving machine, that's for sure. Got some really cool fish with her right now, as far as I know. And she sounds like you're gonna have to set up some tanks when you get home. Really fast. But yeah, I need to get some of these fish sent up to the States. Honestly, I need to get some of these tetras and some of my other fish up to the States soon. I'm starting to think about migrating within the next year or so here, and trying to figure out how I can kind of tighten up my ship a little bit and slowly migrate. Yeah. At a nice mellow pace over the next year. That's the plan. That's the plan. Anybody have any questions about these tetras while I'm still on here for a little bit longer? I just figured I would give you guys the opportunity to check it out, but definitely open to answer some questions about them as well. as well. Ooh. Where are we going? Where are we going, guys? We're going down there. Oof, oof, there we go. Now I'm getting creative. I'm trying to get both things on the screen at the same time. Okay. Sorry. Oh, just playing around. Anyways, once again, I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out here while I show off these eggs under the microscope and show off the fry. Having fun. The Loach guy, how are you? These are nano blue tetras, Titocharex tambopatensis from southern Peru. I have them community spawning. They're actually not spawning. They're community 09 Porcupine. Joey, you take care. You get some rest. Thank you for the $20 super chat, by the way. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, you get some rest. You have a good night. These tetra are from southern Peru. They are on the CARES list. They are at least concerned, but they are on the CARES list. And I have them community breeding in 3 tanks. They are in. These fish actually do internal insemination. They're not. They don't necessarily spawn together. So the female is impregnated, and then she goes and lays the eggs by herself. And actually, while I was on the phone with Amber, I got to witness a female laying the eggs on the side of the glass, and it was really exciting. I freaked out while I was on the phone with her. And I had to go collect some of the eggs while I was still on the phone with her and put them onto a slide, put them under the microscope, and yeah, I just figured I could share it with everybody. And if she pulls over for a second, so she's not driving, so she doesn't hurt herself, she could see it too. Everybody gets to see it. I don't have to keep it to myself. Right, Ginger Graves? Yeah, be careful out there. Definitely don't try to watch my stream and drive at the same time. I know you're smarter than that. But, yeah. So, once again, it's just going to be cool to see this develop slowly over the next couple of days. And I will continue to get pictures of it and get some little bits of video of it. And I guess I'll be able to make a video out of it for sure. I might still go live with it tomorrow or within the next 48 hours if it's reasonable. If it comes close to a point where there might actually be about to hatch, that would be really cool to catch them hatching live. But I will definitely try to catch them hatching and get that on film if possible. But I got to go to work these days too. I have not been working very hard as far as I'm concerned, and the bills are definitely catching up with me. So I need to get working. So hopefully I don't miss it either, to be completely honest. Let's see here. Where are we at? So I was just planning on doing an hour here, so I started about 7:30. This is about it. I really didn't want to go much longer than that. Just want to keep it a normal stream. Want to share with you guys what's going on here, and I will definitely keep you guys posted on this. I've got lots of these fish. Right now it feels like a lot. I always get too excited, and I have to realize that I really. I'm not to relax. It's only 3 tanks of these fish. I really need to get more of these fish before I can really feel comfortable with the amount of them that I have and whether or not I want to start sharing them with anybody. But anyways, I will definitely keep you guys up to date on this on these eggs too. I will definitely try to make a little piece about this. I might as well. I'm going to be getting the footage either way for myself, so I might as well make a video about it. Anyways, I do want to say thank you to Ginger Graves for hanging out in here. I want to say thank you to all my super chatters this evening, as well as all my Patreons that are hanging out in here tonight. It's good to see you all here. Jeremy Morrell, thank you again for the least killies and all of the gifts and just being a friend and having to, it's really nice to get to spend some time just geeking out with other fish and plant nerds, and just people that respect and appreciate nature and life science and whatnot. It's definitely really awesome to hang out in San Francisco and get to meet you, Jeremy, and the others as well. But thank you guys so much for hanging out. Zen Ginger, it's good to see you here as well. Everyone, Jesse from HC Aqua, Dansley, everybody, Caleb's Aquatics, everybody go check that out in about an hour or so, an hour and a half. Caleb's Aquatics is going to be doing a live stream with Zenzo from Tazawa Tanks. That's going to be pretty cool. I definitely look forward to seeing that. And beyond that, I just want to say thank you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out and enjoying a little bit of nerdy, some nerdy goodness and some live microscopy. And until I see you guys again, remember, keep your tanks clean, your fish fed, and have fun.